Our task for this project was to interview an English native speaker, so I didn't want to interview a native English speaker in the streets because it would be too noisy. My solution was to contact a friend of mine that is from USA and has traveled to Mexico. So I wrote to her by social networks and she agreed to answer my interview. These images are the proof that I had to talk in English with her to ask her for the interview. The first thing I did was to introduce myself, then I tell her that I wanted to ask her for an interview because my project was to interview an English native speaker. She told me that she would do it. Then she asked me for an email so that she could send me her answers. When she told me she had already finished answering me, I thanked her a lot and that was all we talked. I really enjoyed talking with her because I don't get to talk that often with people who really speak the language. And that's great because one thing I enjoy doing is talking English, really. I love doing it. What is your name? How old are you? What do you do for a living? Where were you born? Could you tell us a typical story from your country? Mention the custom that you consider the most important of your country. In this part of the video, we asked the interviewed about Mexico. What she When was the first time you come to Mexico? Could you tell us a little bit about your experience? We really want to know what was your first thought, how were you treated, and anything else you want to tell us about it. When you came to Mexico, why did you decide to come? Do you think Mexico is a beautiful country? And why? What do you think Mexico should improve to be a nicer country? What do you like the most about Mexico's culture and your culture? What culture do you like the most? Mexico's culture or your culture? Give us the reason of your answer. Do you consider Mexico a country with a lot of history, and why? We would love to know your opinion about Mexicans and the reason of your answer. In this part of the video, we asked her about her language. We did some questions about what she thinks about English and all that stuff. Do you think English is the most important language in the world? If you do or if you don't, then tell us why. Do you think if you speak English, you can travel to any part of the world and you'll have no trouble to communicate? And why? A lot of people think that English is a universal language. Are you proud of being a native English speaker? I love music and I have some idols that their language of origin is English. So I would like to ask you these next questions. Do you think a lot of great music is and was written in English? Which is your favorite music genre? Who is your favorite singer and where is he or she from? I am into movies which their principal language is English, and I would like to know who you consider the best native English speaker, actor or actress. We all have heard once in our lives that some people say that Spanish it's quite difficult to learn. So we want to know what do you think about that. Would you like to speak any other language instead of English? Why or why not? Do you think English is a beautiful language, or do you think there are languages that are more beautiful than English, and why? If you had the opportunity to change your nationality, would you change it, and why? What do you like the most about your language? Who would you vote for, Hillary Clinton or Donald Trump, and why?